to make your journey of learning English smooth and enjoyable.
Welcome, everyone, to today's deep dive. We're going to get you on the fast track to mastering English,
Oh, yeah.
especially if you're just starting out.
For sure.
So we've got this awesome guide here, chock full of tips just for beginners like you.
It really is a great guide.
And I'm so pumped to be here with our expert to really unpack the best of the best, you know?
Absolutely, yeah. I'm happy to be here.
Like the stuff that'll make the biggest difference for you.
Yeah, give you the biggest bang for your buck as you get started.
Exactly.
Put it into practice right away.
That's what we want.
Mm.
So one thing that really jumped out at me in this guide
Okay.
was this whole idea of setting really clear goals right from the get-go.
Yeah.
Is that really that crucial?
It's super important.
Oh,
Think of it like fitness training.
right.
Like, you wouldn't just walk into a gym and start lifting random weights, would you?
Probably not, no.
No, you'd probably hurt yourself, right?
Yeah.
You want to plan, right?
Yeah.
So it's the same with learning English.
Okay.
Having those targets, even small ones, it gives you a roadmap and keeps you motivated.
So instead of being overwhelmed by this whole enormity of learning a new language,
Totally.
you're breaking it down into these smaller pieces.
Exactly. Manageable chunks.
Right. Yeah.
And that's where this guide gets really interesting.
Okay.
It suggests this psychological thing called habit stacking.
Habit stacking.
Habit stacking.
Okay, I've heard of that.
Yeah, you start with a teeny tiny goal, something
Mhm.
ridiculously easy,
Mm.
like learning one new phrase a day.
Okay.
And you literally stack it onto an existing habit,
Okay.
like brushing your teeth.
Oh, okay.
Every time you brush your teeth, you practice that phrase.
So sneak it in.
Sneak it in. It's really powerful for consistency.
Oh, interesting.
It really is.
Okay, so using those routines that you already have to just slide some English in there.
Yeah, way less intimidating than overhauling your whole schedule.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Right.
And the guide, it talks a lot about consistency. And, I know our listener is a busy person.
Yeah.
So does that mean hours of studying every day?
No, not at all.
Right.
Short, focused bursts are actually more effective than those sporadic marathon sessions.
Oh, okay. So little chunks.
Little chunks.
Yeah.
Consistency trumps intensity every single time.
That's a relief.
Right.
Because, yeah.
Yeah.
So a rhythm, even if it's just 20, 30 minutes a day,
Exactly.
that's manageable.
Totally.
I remember when I was starting out, I got so bogged down with textbooks.
Oh, yeah.
But this guide seems to encourage a more immersive approach.
Yeah, more immersive for sure.
Okay.
So think about switching your phone settings to English,
Wow, okay.
listening to music,
Right.
even watching movies with subtitles.
Yeah, okay.
These might seem like small tweaks, but they make a huge difference.
But does it really work though?
It does.
Okay.
It does.
Am I actually learning if I'm just, passively listening to a song?
It's more than just passive listening.
Okay.
You're training your ear and your brain to recognize patterns in pronunciation,
Okay.
sentence structure,
Right.
even without actively studying.
And I'm absorbing it?
You're absorbing it.
Okay.
Yeah, the rhythm and flow of the language.
Gotcha.
And that lays a solid foundation for speaking and understanding.
So it's soaking it up through osmosis.
Kind of, yeah, like osmosis.
I love that.
I like that too.
And speaking of speaking,
Yeah.
the guide really encourages people to start speaking right away, even if they're terrified of making mistakes.
Right.
And that seems to be a recurring theme. Why is that so important?
It's about breaking down that psychological barrier
Okay.
that so many beginners face.
Right.
The fear of making mistakes can be paralyzing.
Oh, for sure.
But the truth is, making mistakes is essential to the learning process.
It's like learning to ride a bike. You're going to fall a few times
You're going to fall.
before you get your balance.
Yeah. But if you never get on the bike, you'll never learn to ride.
That's true.
Right.
But for someone brand new to English, isn't it kind of terrifying to just start speaking?
It can be, but
What if you don't even know the basic phrases?
well, that's where the guide offers some really practical advice.
Okay.
It suggests starting with really simple phrases, greetings, introductions,
Okay.
things you can practice and repeat until they feel natural.
Build up that base.
Build up that base.
Yeah.
And you can even record yourself
Oh, okay.
and listen back
To hear how you sound?
to hear how you sound and identify areas for improvement.
So you don't even need a fancy language partner.
Yes.
You can practice by yourself
Absolutely.
in the mirror.
In the mirror, yeah.
I love it.
It's a great way to start.
Now, vocabulary is obviously a huge part of learning any language.
Huge.
And this guide, it dives deep into vocabulary building.
Suggesting everything from, like, flashcards to apps to the classic word journal.
Yeah.
I'm curious, though, like, what's the benefit of actually, like, writing down the new words?
I mean, they both have their advantages.
Okay.
But there's something powerful about physically writing things down.
Really?
It engages different parts of your brain, creating a stronger memory imprint.
Okay.
Think about it. When you write something down, you're not just seeing it.
You're feeling it.
You're feeling it. You're engaging those motor skills.
Oh, interesting.
It's multisensory.
So it's like the difference between, like, reading a recipe
Yes.
and actually cooking the meal.
Exactly. You're
Right.
activating all those different parts of your brain,
Interesting.
making the learning stickier.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about the dreaded G word,
Oh, the G word.
grammar.
Yeah,
I
grammar.
remember when I first started learning English, grammar rules felt like this massive, intimidating obstacle.
Yeah, where do I even begin?
Right.
But this guide seems to take, a more approachable stance.
A more approachable stance, for sure.
Okay, how so?
It emphasizes learning grammar in context,
Okay.
not just memorizing these rules in isolation.
Right.
Think about it. When you were learning your native language,
Yeah,
you didn't start with a grammar textbook, did you?
definitely not.
You learned by listening and speaking,
By doing it.
by doing it.
Yeah.
So how do you apply that to learning English as an adult?
Okay, yeah, that's a good question.
Focus on how grammar actually functions
Okay.
within sentences,
Mm-hmm.
real-life conversations.
Okay.
Instead of memorizing a bunch of abstract rules,
Right.
you're learning to recognize patterns and structures as you encounter them.
So it's more intuitive.
Much more intuitive, less daunting.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like learning to play a musical instrument.
Yes.
You don't just memorize the notes. You
Yeah.
learn how to play them in a way that creates the music.
Exactly. You got to make music.
Can you give me an example of what that might look like?
Sure. Let's take the present perfect tense,
Oh, yeah.
which can be tricky for English learners.
It can be.
Yeah.
I remember that one.
Instead of just memorizing the formula like have a has plus past participle,
Right. Yeah.
you could listen to how native speakers use it in conversation.
Oh, okay.
Like you might hear someone say, I've been living in London for 5 years.
Okay.
Notice how they use present perfect to connect a past action
All right.
to the present moment.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so you see it in action.
That's a great example. I can see how, hearing it used in context makes it so much clearer.
It really does.
Building on this idea of active engagement,
Mm-hmm.
the guide talks a lot about active listening.
Active listening.
And, I'm a podcast fanatic, but I know how easy it is to just, zone out and let the words wash over you.
Totally.
How can someone really make that shift to active listening?
Active listening is like mental gymnastics for your ears. Instead of passively hearing the words,
Mm-hmm.
you're consciously focusing on pronunciation,
Okay.
intonation,
Right.
even trying to anticipate what's coming next.
So you're really working those listening comprehension muscles?
You are. It's a workout.
So it's not just about, understanding the basic meaning of the words.
Right.
It's about picking up on, the nuances of spoken English.
Exactly. The nuance.
And that would be so valuable for, conversations.
Absolutely, for sure.
Not just podcasts.
Not just podcasts, yeah.
And are there, specific techniques people can use
There are.
to strengthen those muscles?
One that I often recommend is called shadowing.
Oh, shadowing.
Shadowing.
I've heard of that,
Yeah.
but I'd love to hear you explain it.
Okay, so shadowing involves listening to a native speaker
Mm-hmm.
and trying to repeat what they say simultaneously,
Okay.
mimicking their pronunciation and intonation.
So you're, right on top of them.
Right on top of them.
Wow.
It's like a vocal workout.
That sounds incredibly challenging.
It can be,
Yeah.
but it's also incredibly effective.
And you can start small, right?
Start small, yeah, just shadow for a minute or two at a time.
Okay.
The key is quality over quantity.
This guide also encourages us to see mistakes not as failures,
Yeah.
but as opportunities for growth.
Totally.
Why is that mindset so important for language learners?
It's all about embracing the imperfections
Mhm.
of the learning process.
Right.
It's easy to get discouraged
Oh, yeah.
when you make mistakes, especially when you're first starting out.
Right.
But mistakes are actually invaluable feedback.
Okay.
They show you where you need to focus your efforts.
So instead of beating yourself up for, messing up a verb tense
Exactly.
or mispronouncing a word,
Right.
you're viewing it as a data point,
A data point. Yeah.
a signpost.
A signpost guiding you towards improvement.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
And the guide emphasizes the importance of celebrating, like even the smallest wins.
Oh, absolutely. Celebrate those wins.
No matter how tiny.
No matter how tiny.
Okay, so it's about building momentum
Building amendments, yeah.
through those little wins.
Those little wins.
And speaking of connection,
Yeah.
the guide's a big advocate for joining like English-speaking communities.
Yeah, for sure.
Both online and offline.
Mm-hmm.
Why is like interacting with others so crucial?
I mean, imagine learning to play basketball by yourself in your backyard.
Okay, yeah.
You might be able to dribble and shoot,
Mm-hmm.
but you'd never experience the real dynamism of the game
Right.
until you played with other people.
Until you got out there.
It's the same with language.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Interacting with others, especially native speakers,
Yeah.
exposes you to different accents, communication styles.
Right. The real deal.
The real deal.
Yeah.
Real world usage of the language.
So it's like taking your English skills out for a test drive.
Yes.
In the real world.
Look at that drive.
And let's face it, like real conversations are way more unpredictable
Way more.
than like textbook dialogues.
Absolutely. And exciting. And those real life interactions lead to the most memorable,
Yeah.
rewarding learning experiences.
Okay, I think that's a great place to pause for now.
Yeah, that's good.
We've covered so much ground already,
We have.
and I can already feel those aha moments bubbling up.
Oh, I love it.
So we'll be back soon to continue our deep dive into your guide.
Can't wait. They
Okay.
really can be. Yeah, you learn so much more than just like the grammar and vocabulary.
Oh, for sure. You pick up on those cultural nuances.
yeah, the
Yeah,
nuances.
like idioms,
Basic
even
plan.
like humor.
The humor. Oh, yeah.
Speaking of real world practice,
Okay.
the guide also mentions recording yourself speaking English.
Mm-hmm.
Is that really helpful?
It is. It might feel a little awkward at first.
Yeah, I can see that.
Trust me, it's a game changer.
Okay.
It's like having an instant replay for your English skills.
Interesting.
You can hear yourself objectively,
Yeah.
which can be really eye-opening.
Yeah. Right. So you hear what you actually sound like,
You hear what you actually sound like.
not what you think you sound like.
Exactly. Maybe you notice you're stumbling over certain words,
Mm-hmm.
or your pronunciation isn't as clear as you thought it was.
So it's like holding up a mirror to your speaking habits.
It is. It's like a mirror.
You become aware of those like little quirks.
Yeah, those little quirks and areas you can improve.
I imagine it's especially helpful for pronunciation.
Oh, absolutely, especially for pronunciation.
Yeah.
You can compare your pronunciation to a native speaker
Mm-hmm.
and really fine-tune those sounds.
So you can like really hear the difference.
Really hear the difference.
And the best part is you can do it on your own.
On your own, at your own pace.
No need to feel self-conscious.
No self-consciousness.
Doesn't make anyone.
Nope, just you and the recording.
That's great.
It's a great tool.
It's like having a personal language coach in your pocket.
I like that, a language coach in your pocket.
The guide also emphasizes the importance of not being afraid to ask questions.
Oh, yeah.
That seems pretty straightforward, but why is it so crucial?
Because asking questions is a sign of active learning,
Okay.
not weakness.
All right.
Think of it as like unlocking hidden knowledge
Mm-hmm.
when you have a question,
Yeah.
whether it's about grammar, vocabulary,
Mm-hmm.
even cultural context.
Right.
Don't hesitate to ask.
So it's about like tapping into all that knowledge that's out there
Yeah, tap into.
from teachers, from friends,
Mm-hmm. Even online.
online communities. Yeah.
So many resources.
I remember when I was learning English, I was so hesitant to ask questions.
Really?
Why?
I didn't want to seem stupid.
Oh, I understand that feeling.
Yeah.
But remember, everyone starts somewhere,
That's true.
and every expert was once a beginner
Right.
who wasn't afraid to ask questions.
So it's how we learn and grow.
It's how we learn and grow.
It's about shifting that perspective from fear to curiosity.
I like that. From fear to curiosity.
That's a good one.
The guide also recommends finding a language partner
Yeah, a language partner
to practice speaking with.
for practice speaking with.
What are the benefits of having like a dedicated partner?
Oh, it's great. It's like having a built-in accountability buddy.
Oh, okay.
You're both committed to helping each other improve.
Right.
You can practice conversations, learn new expressions,
Yeah.
and get comfortable with the natural flow of language.
It's like having a regular tennis partner or something.
It is like a tennis partner.
You push each other to like get better.
You push each other, exactly.
And I imagine it also helps with like overcoming that fear of speaking,
Absolutely it does.
knowing that you have someone who's in the same boat.
In the same boat, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a safe and supportive environment to practice your skills.
I like that.
And the guide even suggests watching English movies or shows with subtitles.
Oh, with subtitles.
Yeah,
Shoot.
starting with subtitles in your native language
Okay.
and then switching to English subtitles as you improve.
Oh, so you kind of like wean yourself off.
You wean yourself off, yeah.
The native language subtitles.
Exactly.
That sounds like a fun and engaging way to learn.
It is. It's fun.
I love watching movies.
Me too.
So I can definitely see the appeal.
Yeah.
But how does that actually help with language acquisition?
It's a fantastic way to immerse yourself in the language
Okay.
while also having some visual support.
Right.
The subtitles help you connect the spoken words to the written form.
Right. You see it and you hear it,
You see it and you hear it,
which can be really helpful for beginners.
especially for beginners.
Yeah.
And as you improve, you can challenge yourself by switching to English subtitles.
Oh, okay. So it's like training wheels for your listening comprehension.
Training wheels. I like that.
You start with the support of your native language,
Mhm.
and then you gradually transition to relying solely on English.
That's a great way to put it.
And you're not just learning vocabulary and grammar, you're
Yeah.
also absorbing like cultural references,
Yeah. Cultural references, humor,
different accents.
different accents. It's a multifaceted learning experience.
Wow, it's like a full immersion.
It is.
And speaking of fun,
Yeah.
the guide recommends incorporating games
Games.
into your learning routine.
Oh, I love games.
What kind of games are we talking about here?
Think Scrabble, crossword puzzles,
Okay.
even online quizzes.
Oh, fun.
They can be really effective for expanding your vocabulary,
Mm-hmm.
improving your grammar skills.
Without feeling like work.
Without feeling like work, it's like sneaking in some learning.
Right. You're having fun while you're learning.
Exactly.
I can see how that would be like really appealing for people who,
Yeah,
might find traditional studying a bit tedious.
a little bit tedious, yeah.
The guide also suggests listening to audiobooks in English.
Audiobooks, yeah.
What are the benefits of that?
Oh, audiobooks offer a unique advantage
Okay.
because they expose you to different storytelling styles,
Okay.
a wider range of vocabulary,
Mm-hmm.
and often a more formal use of language.
Oh, okay. More formal.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Plus, you can adjust the narration speed
Okay.
to match your comprehension level.
So you can start slow
Start slow.
and then like gradually ramp up the speed.
Exactly, as you get more comfortable.
And you can listen while you commute, while you exercise,
While you exercise, yeah.
do chores.
Do chores. It's a great way to multitask.
It's a versatile and convenient way to like fit in that extra practice.
It is, for sure.
The guide recommends using apps specifically designed for grammar practice.
Mm-hmm. Grammar apps.
There are so many language learning apps out there.
There are so many.
What makes these grammar-focused apps stand out?
It's like having a personal grammar tutor in your pocket.
Okay.
They offer targeted exercises, interactive quizzes,
Right.
personalized feedback.
So you can really focus on those areas.
Focus on those areas. Identify your weak spots.
Strengthen your understanding.
Strengthen your understanding. Yeah.
And of course, the guide stresses the importance of focusing on pronunciation.
Oh, yeah. Pronunciation is key.
It seems like everyone struggles with pronunciation at some point.
Everyone does, especially with those tricky English sounds.
There are a lot of sounds in English
A lot of sound.
that are hard to get right.
Hard to get right, yeah.
Pronunciation is definitely a key area to focus on.
For sure.
Because it directly impacts your ability to, communicate effectively.
To communicate effectively.
Yeah, to be understood.
To be understood, yeah.
The good news is
What's the good news?
there are tons of resources out there
There are.
to help you improve,
Like what?
from apps that provide audio feedback
Oh, cool.
to like online videos
Mhm.
that like break down those sounds.
Break down those sounds so you can see how your mouth should be moving.
It's about training your mouth to like produce those sounds accurately.
It is training your mouth.
It's like learning a new dance move.
Yeah. Learning a new dance move.
You got to practice the steps
Practice those steps.
until they become second nature.
Second nature.
Yeah, muscle memory.
Muscle memory.
The guide also encourages setting fun challenges
Ooh, challenges.
to keep yourself motivated.
Yeah, I love challenges.
Can you give an example of what that might look like?
Sure, try something like speaking only in English for a day,
Oh, okay, a whole day.
a whole day, or learning a certain number of new words in a week.
Okay.
It gives you a specific target to aim for.
So it's like gamifying your learning experience.
It is. It's like a game.
You're setting those goals, you're tracking your progress.
Tracking your progress.
You're celebrating your achievements.
Celebrating those achievements.
And speaking of resources,
Yeah.
The guide suggests exploring free online resources
Oh, there's so much out there.
for extra practice.
So much.
It seems like there's a whole world of English learning available online.
There is. It's amazing.
It really is.
You're no longer limited to textbooks
Right.
or classroom settings.
It's all right there at your fingertips.
It's all right there.
You can find everything from grammar lessons
To pronunciation tips,
to like cultural insights.
cultural insights, all for free.
It's like having this like global library of English learning
A global library,
at your fingertips.
and it's constantly growing.
And it's constantly evolving.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It is pretty amazing.
The guide also emphasizes the importance of practicing listening without subtitles.
Yeah, without the crutch.
As you improve.
As you improved, exactly.
It sounds like a natural progression.
It is a natural progression.
But how do you know when you're ready to take that step?
It's really about challenging yourself
Okay.
and seeing how far you've come.
Right.
Start by listening to short audio clips
Mm-hmm.
or podcasts without subtitles
Okay.
and see how much you understand.
Just go for it.
Just go for it.
Don't worry about catching every single word.
No, don't worry about that.
Just focus on the overall meaning.
Exactly, get the gist.
So it's like taking the training wheels off your English listening.
Taking the training wheels off, I like that.
It might feel a bit wobbly at first,
It might, yeah.
but with practice,
With practice.
you gain that confidence,
Confidence.
that fluency.
That fluency, yeah.
And the guide recommends breaking down sentences
Okay.
to better understand grammar.
Yeah, to better understand grammar.
This might sound a bit technical.
It might sound technical, but
That's actually very practical.
very practical.
I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
By analyzing how sentences are formed,
Okay.
you can identify the different parts of speech,
Right.
like nouns, verbs, adjectives,
Okay.
and understand how they work together
To create meaning?
to create meaning. Yeah,
So you're not just learning grammar rules.
Right.
You're learning to see the, like, structure,
yeah, the
the
struggle.
logic behind those rules.
Exactly, the logic.
It's like looking under the hood of a car,
Ooh, I like that.
understand how the engine works.
That's a great analogy.
And the guide also suggests learning synonyms and antonyms
Synonyms and antonyms.
to expand your vocabulary.
To expand that vocabulary.
Why is that so important?
Because it gives you more tools to express yourself
Okay.
with precision and nuance.
So you're not just using the same basic words over and over again.
Right, you're adding more colors to your language palette.
More colors, more options.
More options, yeah.
That's great.
It is.
The guide recommends following English media
Oh, yeah.
to stay updated and learn informally.
Keep it fresh.
This seems like such a fun and natural way to like immerse yourself.
It is. It is
Have you
by
done it?
following English social media pages,
Mhm.
YouTube channels, blogs.
Yeah.
You're surrounding yourself with the language
In a way that's engaging
in a way that's engaging.
and relevant to your interests.
Absolutely.
And it's a great way to pick up on like slang,
Slang,
idioms,
current trends,
current trends. You're tapping into the pulse of the English language.
the pulse,
Yeah.
as it's being used by, like, real people.
Real people in real time. In real time.
That's the best way to learn.
And the guide also stresses the importance of practicing stress and intonation.
Stress and intonation. Oh, yeah.
This is an area that many learners find challenging.
It can be tricky.
But it's so crucial for sounding natural.
Sounding natural and
Fluent.
And fluent, yeah.
I agree. Stress and intonation can like completely change the meaning of a sentence.
Totally.
It's like the music of the English language.
It is. It's the music.
How can someone practice this effectively?
There are a few techniques you can try.
Okay.
Listen to native speakers
Mm-hmm.
and pay attention to how they emphasize certain words and syllables.
Okay.
Try shadowing them,
Oh, right.
mimicking their intonation patterns.
Okay.
You can even record yourself speaking
Right.
and listen back
To hear how you sound.
to hear how you sound, see if you're hitting those stress points correctly.
So it's about like training your ear to hear those nuances.
Yeah, train your ear.
And then training your voice to replicate them.
Exactly, train your voice.
The guide also recommends testing yourself regularly
Oh, yeah,
to track your progress.
to track that progress.
Why are tests so important?
Tests are like taking a snapshot
Okay.
of your English skills at a particular moment in time.
Right, so you can see where you're at.
You see where you're at, they help you identify your strengths and weaknesses
Mhm.
and see how far you've come.
Right.
Plus, there's a sense of accomplishment
Oh, for sure.
that comes with seeing those scores improve over time.
So it's like marking milestones on your language learning journey.
It is like milestones.
You can look back and see how much progress you've made,
Yeah, for
and that
sure.
can be incredibly motivating.
It can be very motivating.
And speaking of motivation,
Yeah, motivation.
the guide emphasizes the importance of staying motivated.
Of course.
This seems pretty obvious.
It seems obvious,
But why is it so crucial?
because learning a new language can be challenging.
Yeah, it can be.
There will be times when you feel frustrated
For sure.
or discouraged.
You hit those roadblocks.
You hit those roadblocks. You're
like, ugh, I don't know if I can do this.
I've been there.
It's important to remind yourself why you started this journey in the first place.
That's a good point. Remember your why.
And to celebrate those small victories along the way.
Celebrate those victories no matter how small.
It's about finding the joy in the learning process.
Absolutely. Find the joy.
If you're not enjoying it, it's going to make much harder to stay motivated.
It's going to be so much harder.
And the guide also stresses the importance of being patient.
Patience. Oh, that's a big one.
This can be a tough one,
It can be tough.
especially in a world where we expect, like, instant gratification.
Yeah, instant gratification. Yeah, we want it all now.
We live in a culture of immediacy,
We do.
but language learning is a marathon, not a sprint.
It's a marathon for sure.
Fluency doesn't happen overnight.
It takes time,
It takes effort
effort,
and consistent practice.
and consistent practice. You got to put in the work.
And the guide reminds us that it's okay to make mistakes along the way.
Oh yeah, mistakes are part of the process.
In fact, mistakes are an essential part of the learning process.
They are essential. They help you learn and grow.
It's about embracing the imperfections of the journey
Embrace those imperfections.
and understanding that every step forward,
Every step forward,
no matter how small,
no matter how small,
is a step closer to your goal.
to your goal. Exactly.
Speaking of practical tools,
Okay, what tools?
the guide also recommends using flashcards for a vocabulary review.
Flashcards. Classic.
It might seem old school,
You might seem old school, but
but why are they still so effective?
they're simple, they're portable,
Okay.
and incredibly effective for memorizing new words and their definitions.
So you can, like, take them with you anywhere?
Take them anywhere.
You can study on the go?
on the go. Yeah.
They leverage a learning technique called spaced repetition,
Spaced repetition.
which has been proven to, like, boost memory retention.
It really does.
Oh, interesting. So it's,
Yeah.
like, scientifically backed?
Scientifically backed.
It's like having a mini dictionary in your pocket.
A mini dictionary in your pocket. I like that.
The guide also suggests practicing small talk
Small
to
talk.
build fluency.
Small talk is important
Why is small talk so important?
because it's a crucial part of daily communication.
Oh,
It's how we build rapport, establish connections, navigate social situations.
Right, it's those everyday interactions.
It's those everyday interactions.
And for English learners, it's a great way to practice those everyday phrases.
Exactly. Those everyday phrases.
And build confidence in speaking.
Build that confidence.
So it's about practicing, like, the art of casual conversation,
The art of casual conversation.
which can be just as important as, like, mastering grammar rules
Yeah.
or memorizing vocabulary.
It's all part of the puzzle.
Yeah.
It all works together.
And the guide recommends reading news in English.
News in English, yeah.
This seems like a great way to stay informed
And informed, yeah.
and improve your English skills.
At the same time,
Simultaneously,
simultaneously, yeah.
reading news articles exposes you to a wide range of vocabulary, writing style,
Different writing
creates a
style.
sense
Current events, you're in the loop.
you're in the know,
You're in the know.
all while improving your reading comprehension.
Improving that reading comprehension.
So you're getting, like, a dose of current events and English practice
all in one.
all in one.
I love it.
The guide also suggests joining online language exchange programs.
Oh, language exchange programs.
I've heard of these,
Yeah.
but how do they actually work?
It's like a language learning partnership.
Okay.
You connect with people
Mm-hmm.
who are learning your native language
Okay.
while you practice English with them.
Oh, so it's like a swap.
It's a swap, yeah.
A language swap.
A language swap, a mutually beneficial exchange,
Where you can both improve
improve,
and learn about each other's cultures.
and learn about each other's cultures.
That's awesome.
It's a great way to connect you with people from all over the world.
And the guide emphasizes the importance of learning cultural context.
Cultural context, yeah.
Why is this so important?
Because language is more than just words and grammar.
Right.
It's a reflection of culture,
Okay.
values,
Mhm.
social norms.
Right.
Understanding these nuances can help you use English appropriately
Right. In different situations.
in different situations.
And avoid misunderstanding.
Avoid those misunderstandings, yeah.
So it's about developing, like, cultural sensitivity,
Cultural sensitivity
and awareness,
and awareness
which are essential for, like, effective communication.
in any language.
In any language, for sure.
For sure.
And finally, the guide reminds us to never stop learning.
Never stop learning.
This seems like a great note to end on.
It does.
Learning a language is a lifelong journey.
It is a lifelong journey.
Not a destination.
Not a destination. It's ongoing.
Even after you, like, reach your initial goals.
Yeah, your initial goals.
It's important to continue practicing,
Continue practicing.
exploring, challenging yourself.
Challenging yourself.
To maintain and improve your skills.
To keep those skills sharp.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more. And the beauty of it is,
Yeah.
the more you learn.
The more you realize there is to learn.
Exactly. It's never ending.
That's a beautiful thing.
It is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it's amazing, right? Like, this guide, it really covers so much ground.
It does.
From those, like, foundational tips to the more, like, nuanced stuff about language and culture.
It does. It's great.
We've really unpacked a lot here.
We have. We've gone deep.
And what I appreciate most about it
Yeah.
is that it doesn't, like, push any one-size-fits-all solution, you know?
Right. Right.
It encourages you to, like, build your own
have your own personalized
English learning
ecosystem. Using the tools and strategies that work best for you.
It's like building your own language learning toolkit,
Yeah, your own toolkit. I like that.
equipped with everything you need to succeed. So, for our listener who shared this guide with us, what's, like, the key takeaway we want them to walk away with today?
I'd say the most important message is there's no magic bullet to mastering English,
Right.
but consistent effort, a diverse approach, and a positive attitude can make a huge difference.
It's that classic combination of hard work and smart strategies.
It is. It is.
And this guide provides the roadmap.
It does.
But it's up to each person
Yeah.
to take those steps. You know?
Take those steps, put in the work.
You got to do it.
You got to do it.
And if I can add one final thought,
Okay.
that wasn't explicitly mentioned in the guide.
Okay.
It's the importance of, like, finding joy in the learning process.
Oh, that's so important.
It is, because when you enjoy the journey,
Yeah.
learning becomes an adventure, not a chore.
Absolutely.
Think about it, like discovering new words,
Yeah.
understanding cultural nuances, connecting with others through language.
Those are all amazing experiences.
Yeah. It's like unlocking new levels of understanding.
Connection.
And that positive energy, it fuels your motivation.
It does.
It does the whole thing so much more enjoyable.
It makes it fun.
It's,
Learning should be fun.
It should be.
It shouldn't be a chore.
Well, this has been a fantastic deep dive.
It has.
We've covered so much.
We have.
And I really feel like we've, like, truly extracted the essence of this amazing guide.
I think so too. We've really gotten to the heart of it.
It's been a pleasure exploring these tips and strategies with you.
Likewise, it's been a great conversation.
And I hope our listener feels, inspired
And
empowered to take action.
to take action and get started on their English learning journey.
We've given them plenty to think about.
We have lots to chew on.
Now it's time for them to dive into the source material themselves.
Yeah, dive in.
Experiment with the ideas that, like, really sparked their curiosity.
See what works best for them.
Remember, every step you take,
Every step,
no matter how small,
no matter how small.
is a step in the right direction.
Absolutely.
Embrace the challenges, celebrate the victories,
Mhm.
and never lose sight of that joy of learning.
Never lose sight of the joy.
And, who knows, maybe someday soon,
Yeah,
you'll be sharing your own English learning journey with others,
that would be amazing.
inspiring them to embark on their own adventures.
That's the goal, right? To pay it forward.
It is.
Until then, happy learning.
Happy learning, everyone.